Welcome back to another video, and today we're taking the bar exam. So this is the Part A bar exam, and for those who don't know what it is, I'm going to do a brief introduction. So who has to take the Part A bar exam? This is usually for graduates who have graduated from foreign universities. So since I graduated from the UK, I'll have to take the Part A bar exam, but local students who study in Singapore don't have to take the exam. Okay, the next question is, when is the Part A bar exam? The Part A bar exam happens twice every year. The first session is in April and the second one is in October. So let's say you fail for one of the sessions, you are able to retake in the following sessions. So something you might not know is that when you pay for the exam fees, you're actually not paying for the course fees as well. So the course is a separate thing that is optional. You have to pay course fees for that. So these courses are conducted in a seminar style online, and you might get practice questions that comes along with it as well. But if you don't opt for the course, then you will be self-studying. So there are different courses offered for the different sessions. For session 1 that happens in April every year, the SILE course I think is available. Whereas if you do session 2, only the RHT legal training course is offered. Some of you might know this is the course that's headed by Professor Walter Woon. So let's talk about course fees. It's about $2,000 for the SILE course, and it starts off at $3,000 for the RHT course. So it is an in-person exam where you bring your laptop and then you do the MCQ questions on a software called Exemplify. For our year, we went to SIM University to take the exam. You're not allowed access to the internet, so you can't do stuff like Google answers, but you can have access to your notes if you've downloaded them. Okay, so let's talk about the most important timeline. I've summarized everything into a neat graphic. And just to disclaimer, this is what happens for my year. I'm not sure if there will be changes in the future, but this is what I did. So from August last year till about January this year, I'm supposed to do my RLT, and that is the training that I have to do for 6 months. And you'll see that I went for the Part A exam 2023 Session 2 in October last year. And the reason why I did that is because in case I failed any of the subjects last year, I'm able to take the next session in 2024 April. And the reason why that is important is because in July 2024, we will be starting our Part B exam. That means I have to pass all of my Part A subjects before July this year. So I thought it would be best to maximize my chances of passing by playing it safe, taking 2 sessions if I have to. Now you might be asking, is the Part A exam really so hard? I mean, I've been through law school and everything. How hard can it be? It's an MCQ. But honestly, don't underestimate an MCQ exam. The difference is that compared to an essay, whereby as long as you write something, you're likely going to pass, MCQ is a right or wrong. But law in itself is a subject that comes with a lot of it depends. So you can see how MCQ is really quite tricky when it comes to a law exam. So I would say the best thing, and also if you still don't believe me, I believe the passing rate for Part A exam is not exactly high. Now of course you can just take the session in April, and the good thing about doing that is that you have a full undisturbed 3 months from early February till the end of April to study for exam, and you can take the course, and that makes you more fully prepared for the exam. But that makes the April exam more high stake because you have to pass everything in one go. Now if you do choose to do what I did, then you should take note that when you're doing the Part A exam during your RLT, it's likely that you're going to have to take 4 to 5 weeks of study leave, and that means that you have to make up that 4 to 5 weeks at the end of your training period. This means that instead of ending at around end January like most people do, I ended my training around the end of March. And the problem with that is it cuts really close to the hard deadline for when you must finish your RLT. So it is stated in the SILE guide that you must finish your 6 months of RLT within a continuous period of 8 months. That means you have to finish it by the end of March. Okay, I hope that was really clear for you guys. I thought that when I first started out, it was so confusing what this Part A exam was going to be, how it's going to fit with my RLT, so I thought that this timeline would be quite helpful for most of you. So I think at the end of the day, there's not like a better option, but you have to decide what's more comfortable for you. Would you rather have more time to do the course and then take the exam, or would you rather maximize your chances by sitting for 2 exams in case you fail one of them? Oh, and of course, if you do pass everything in one go for the earlier session in October, then you do get an extra month of holiday. Something I forgot to mention, if you take the earlier session in October, you have to cram a lot of information within 4 to 5 weeks, which is very little time as compared to the 3 months that you're going to get if you do the later session in April. Another thing to consider is that if you have to retake your exam, you don't pay the full 1,700 exam fee. You actually pay by different systems. So if you fail 1 to 2 subjects, I think you pay $800. Then if you fail 3 to 4 subjects, you have to pay a certain amount. So the rest of the video will be a vlog of what I did during my Part A exam, how I prepared for it. Hopefully it will be quite interesting, but it's mainly just me making matcha and studying in a cafe. So now let's talk about the reason why I decided to do the earlier session in October. The reason I did this was because in our firm, there is a culture whereby RLT students would take the earlier session, and in case we fail, we can do the second one. So our firm generally allows for that. So that helps because the other trainees are doing the same thing as me. And the second main reason was because if I passed all my exam in the first try, I would have a longer holiday after my RLT. That meant that I could spend more time with my family, I could fly over to China, visit my relatives, and it would just free up a lot of time for me, which I thought that was very precious, given that we're going to start our Part B exam and we're going to be starting our training for a whole year next year. And when work life really comes, we won't have a lot of leave to spend that time. So I thought that that was really important to me, so I decided to give it a go. So I also wanted to share a little bit about why I didn't go for the bar course. I didn't pay the $3,000 because I thought it was a bit too expensive, and if I could, I wanted to challenge myself to study by myself and see how well I fared. Well, as you guys know or might not know, I failed one of the subjects. I failed land law, so that meant I had to retake it. Now looking back in hindsight, would I have taken the course if I could? I think still no. Hi guys, so it's the 3rd week, still slightly more than halfway through my syllabus. We definitely need to pick up a pace because I'm not gonna make it if I don't study faster. Hopefully it'll be a productive day today. I hope to finish land law by today. So back to why I wouldn't have taken the course, and number one is because I did save $2,200 to retake the exam. I had to pay another $800. But the second point is because it would not have been feasible for me to do 7 to 10 o'clock classes after work. And that's because when I was doing my RLT, I had to OT sometimes and do work into the night. And while doing OT sounds bad, and I'm really not trying to glorify overworking, but I think I've learned so much from those experiences and those opportunities that came by that I don't think I would have traded them for doing the bar course. Hi guys, so we're officially 5 days away from my exam. It's the Wednesday before my exam week, and I have somehow fallen sick. I think I'm down with a fever. Yesterday I was down with like a flu, already feeling unwell. I thought I would fully recover by today, but no. Life said no, you need to get a fever, you need to get worse. My brain feels fried right now, like your head just feels really warm, you're getting a throbbing headache, and you're like getting muscle ache all the time. Yeah, and it doesn't help that I have really bad muscle aches from a few days ago when I went to the gym. So yeah, I'm just like a walking zombie at the moment, but we move because I have to continue. If I don't have time at all. So today I'm going to finish my company law, and then I'm going to start on doing practice questions, or maybe like just doing notes, doing up a framework to summarize what are the main concepts in company law so that I remember them. before going to the exam hall. So that's the goal for today. I'm not completely dead, so that's great. I can still function. Perfect. But yeah, I will be studying at home today. Let's hope I recover. This headache is not it. If the symptoms didn't give it away, I was actually down with COVID. So I only found out the next day after I took the test. But yes, I was down with COVID 5 days before my Part A exam, and I was not done revising. Getting sick was one thing I didn't factor into my timeline, and that really threw me off because I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. And essentially at this point, it was just put in my best effort and see what the results were gonna be. And the craziest thing is, I didn't even know if I could take the exam if I didn't test negative on the day itself. But thankfully, I recovered in time and I tested negative on the day itself, which meant that I could go for the exam. Okay, please excuse my voice because I'm falling sick, but during the Part A exam week, it was pretty stressful because not only we did exams from 2 to 4 every day, when we got home we had to study throughout the night, repeat the next morning, and then go back to exams again. So I would say the toughest week is the exam week itself. So one thing that really helped me understand the concepts and know them at the tip of my fingers is to draw up mind maps. Even if I didn't use the mind maps during the exam, I thought that this was a good way to revise the morning of the exam. So on the final day, I think everyone had mixed feelings, but overall we were just happy that it was all over. So yeah, that's the end of the vlog, and I hope this helps you with your Part A exam prep. See you in the next one.